get started, or that's about everybody. Well, I don't expect our full 50 people to be here today, but first of all, welcome. I'm so excited that everybody is joining us for the Balanced Habits journey. If you don't know me, I'm Karen Blazaitis. I own the studio, and I opened it in 2002. And what we do here is we have group fitness classes, Pilates reformer training, and personal training. And I know many of you are clients here already. If you're not, we've got fun stuff for you to do. And I know I've dragged a lot of my friends and family to join me, and neighbors. And so thank you all for joining us and helping us to hit our goal of 50 people to do the Kickstart. So we sold it out, so we're really excited about that. I'd like to thank you too for being mindful and thinking about yourself. I know we're all so busy that we always put ourselves last, or many people put themselves last, so you're taking time for yourself and making your health a priority, so that's super important. So not only are we looking at this for weight loss, but also to be able to eat healthier and know what to put in your body that fuels you the best, and so you can perform the best whether you're working or at home or whatever you're doing. So a little bit quickly, I want to introduce our Balanced Habits certified coaches. And our lead coach that's helping me to coordinate everything, Bridget, if you just stand up real quickly, she's going to be talking for part of this. She's coordinating all of these things that you'll see that come through. We received, it feels like hundreds of notifications from Balanced Habits in California. There's so much to filter through and to absorb and to apply to what we do here. So she's really helped me to kind of wrap my arms around this program and deliver it to you. Next, I want to introduce Erica Calcagna. She's one of our trainers, instructors here. She's going to be addressing some information about your portion sheets and things of that nature. Terry Timmer, another trainer and instructor here. Whoop, whoop. Other people that have been instrumental in pulling this whole thing together. Simone from our desk staff. Simone is also, all these ladies are food coaches. Miriam, who's standing in the back. Erica Goldspinks, and right next to her is Michelle O'Connell. So all those members are people from our staff who you might see as you're coming through to do your weigh-ins and your weekly coaching with us and your food journals. Another couple people that I'd like to give a shout out to, she's not here, she used to work here in the building, but now she works off-site in South Carolina, lucky her, Tasha Cochran, and she is the one that does all of our publications. Any e-blasts that you see, the posters around here, all the Facebook and Instagram posts. If you're not following us on Facebook and Instagram, we would love it if you did. It'll give you notifications and we'll give you some information through that. Also here from our staff is, where is she? Stacy. She's one of our trainers, and also Taylor, who is my fitness assistant and also an instructor for our Pilates or for yoga classes on Monday nights. Did I miss anybody from staff? Okay, so we've got a big team here today. Just a little bit of history about Balanced Habits so that you kind of understand, babies, so you kind of understand why we are doing Balanced Habits here. For about 5 years, I've been looking for a solid nutrition program. We've tried to develop some of it on our own with registered dietitians. I just haven't felt that it's like really what we needed. So I belong to a lot of different trades, journals and things of that nature. And there's one called Association of Fitness Studios that's got a lot of relevant information for me. And through that, I got some information about Balanced Habits. And so I started exploring it at about August of last year. And so 10 of our members, our staff members, and I believe it was 2 instructors, participated last September in their Kickstart remotely. So we were Kickstarters for the people that are out in California. And so they coached us through it, and I think it's a good idea for us to understand it before we try to tell you about it. And so going through that, we were super impressed with how solid the program is and how much success we've had with the program, not only during that 28 days, but moving forward through 3 holidays, and all the other things that took place since September. So we feel that we've been able to maintain the weight that we liked, we were eating healthy, we feel great. So I think it's a great way to kick this off for you. So again, there are no supplements that were involved in this programming. It's just eating healthy food choices, and it does also apply to people with special dietary needs, whether it be gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, we can accommodate pretty much all of that, so that's important to us too. What also we like about it is it provides tons of support and accountability. So with us having our weekly weigh-in, our check-ins, I guess we're calling them, as well as a quick, like a 5-minute counseling session with you, going through your journal, answering any questions. That's wonderful because you'll have that accountability, and also you'll know, oh, on Friday I'm gonna check in, so I've got to adhere to what's supposed to be going on. So above all, this is not a diet. This is a way of changing your mindset of how you're going to eat for the rest of your life. So, try to not think of it as, oh, this is a 28-day thing. No, this is a way that I'm going to learn to eat healthier for the rest of my life, and you shouldn't need a diet. Everyone knows that a diet comes and goes, and you start and you stop, and you start and you stop, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep going and eat healthy. So, in addition to the Kickstart, this will take place 3 times a year, January, May, and September. We also have a life program that we've been counseling members on since the end of September, beginning of October. And we've been very pleased with the success that they've had. I think Bridget, Erica, and Terry will share some of their experiences with a couple of the members that they've had. And we've had some really exciting unintended consequences, if you will, of people that have really seen some profound changes in health conditions or conditions that they've had that we weren't intending. So it's been pretty exciting for us to see all that. So anyhow, there are 50 people, as I mentioned, that are going to be embarking on this journey, but you're a part of thousands that are all across the United States and Canada. So this system will support thousands of people, and we will be journaling and talking about this. And now I'd like to turn it over to Bridget and let her move on, and we're going to hand out your booklets real quick before she gets started.
Yes,
So
that would be great.
get that out of the way.
Do you want
Sure.
Oh, they're over there? Just a minute. Yes, I did.
Yep.
We'll just see the
Yeah.
Greg and Kelly Corey.
Archie?
Banzak? Kate Banzak?
Lynn, nope.
And you got Kelly with you, right? Okay.
She went for
Nice to meet you.
Jan.
Darlene?
Peggy. Oh, other Peggy. I've got 2 Peggy's.
David? Stacy?
Are we good?
She needs some change.
Those are
Carolyn and David?
Okay.
Oh, there you are. I know, I saw you.
Does everyone have one?
No, somebody's not here.
Neil Power? Everybody have the right one? That's important too. Well, again, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Bridget. I'm very excited to be here. And I'm just as excited to be a part of your Kickstart journey and to support you and help you. It'll be a great 28 days, and I'm very happy that you've made this decision for yourselves. The first thing I want to do is just go over some information. You have a calendar in the front pocket of your booklet, and I just want to review some information. You can read it and go over it more carefully, but I just wanted to point out a few key things about the structure of the next month or so. First, I want to mention that Balance Habits has developed a new app for the Kickstart. This will be the first session that will be using the app. You will get an invitation through your email to accept the app, and it's a great resource for you. It's a way you can reach out and contact us and get any answers to your questions. It also has the weekly menus on there. It has the recipes. Erica's going to go into that into more detail. And it has just support, and they have articles for you that support your nutrition and just what the next 28 days is going to be like. So that's one way you can reach us. And again, you should get an invite through your email. The next way to reach us directly is through the email. It's up in the right-hand corner of January there. And it's just bridget.midamericanfit@gmail. So that is directly to me, and I'll make sure you get your answers or whoever we need to involve. So we don't want you waiting till maybe that Thursday or Friday for your weigh-in. We want to be able to get you information quickly. Then there's a couple other ways that you can have support through the program. One would be their website, and there is an error on your calendar. So did you get a pen or any way to write? No? The website requires a password, and I made an error when I printed the calendar. So,
Terry's gonna get it.
okay, and we'll keep that up there for you. You do need the asterisks, Liz, on both ends of it, okay? And I'm sorry that I didn't catch that before I printed them.
And get rid of the 20.
And no 20, yeah. You might as well just cross that off and start fresh. So that is coming directly from Balanced Habits. And on that website, you can view your menus, you can view your recipes, but you can't print them, okay? Through the app, you can print them, but not through the website. And the website's a great resource to go back and listen to or review information. We're going to cover a lot of information today, so you can go back and get an explanation or double check on something. So, and then lastly is our Facebook, and you'll get an invite to join our Facebook group just for you Kickstarters. So that's coming from us, and that's a great way to interact and get support and just be excited about the program. This should be a fun, it's a lot of learning and some changes, but it all should be fun. It's empowerment, so it's a good thing. So when you look at your calendar, I'm not going to go through it, but the structure of the next 4 weeks is very similar. We are going to have your weigh-ins on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And if we could take a minute right now, we just want to get an idea of how popular each of those time slots is going to be. So the Thursday is the evening one, and that's from 6 to 8. Friday is the morning, 8 to 12, and then Saturdays is 8 to 11:30. So if I could just have a show of hands of how many would think they would take advantage of the Thursday night weigh-ins. Okay. Okay, good?
Yep.
Okay. Then how about the Friday mornings? Is that a good one for about the same?
Okay.
Okay, and then the Saturday mornings. Oh, there we
We're
go.
gonna be busy on Saturdays.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and it's okay if you change, like, we just want to get an idea. Sure, we want to make sure we have the right support for you and have enough people on hand, okay? When you come in for your weigh-ins, it should be, or check-ins, it should be a quick visit. We're here to support you and answer your questions, but it's not a lengthy stop for you. You want to bring your food journal, because that is key to us supporting you and making sure that you're doing everything properly, not to criticize what you're writing down or anything like that, but just to help you reach the goals that you've set for yourself, okay? So you just need your journal, and so we have 3 weigh-ins, and we go into February, and the final weigh-in is Valentine's week, so the 14th, 15th, and 16th. That'll be the only day that we will remeasure you, okay, and take a final photo. For the weigh-ins, it would be great if you could be consistent on what you're wearing, and for the remeasure also. We want to be as accurate as possible with all those measurements and the stats that we give the headquarters, okay? Let's see here. And I also want to mention that we have a boot camp that's been designed just for you Kickstarters, and that is on Saturdays. That starts next Saturday. Terry's going to talk in more detail about that, but I just want you to know that it's available to you. And then lastly, on the 23rd of February is our celebration and our next steps. So it'll be similar to like today. You'll get more information on how to go forward. You can celebrate all the things you've learned and the success that you've had. So there is more information that you'll get at the end of the 28 days. So that is our calendar. And if you'll bear with me, I have my own little version of your booklet. Okay? I just want to make sure I hit all the key information for you. So if I am not going to read this to you, we are just going to highlight a few key things that I think is important. I am going to talk in general terms. After me, Erica is going to be much more specific about what you really want to know, like what you're eating and how much and when, okay? I'm just going to be very general right now. I feel like if you have this information when you hear Erica, you'll just be more prepared. So in the first page is just very, it's a great way to illustrate, you have this lovely human. Is that your first page? Yes, okay. So this just illustrates how many health markers that the excess body fat can affect. Things that we might not even really consider because we might be focused on maybe losing weight, maybe fitting into your favorite pair of jeans again, but there's so many ways that you can improve your health that aren't as easily identified. So this just reviews it with you and can be very powerful. I had a client who, you know, her goal was for fitness and to know how to eat much better, but by doing those things and by eating properly, she eliminated her headaches by like 95%. You know, that wasn't something that she expected out of it. So there's a lot of benefit to just overall nutrition and improving your wellness. The next page is just some advice from the creators. And you let me know if I'm out of sync at all, okay? You're good. Okay, thank you. That would be very confusing. You can read through this. This is a great page because they just kind of isolate it week by week for you. So, you know, maybe read it before that week starts, reread it maybe at the end of the week because it'll just help you feel like, you know, what you're experiencing is very normal or maybe why you're experiencing that. And it's just a great way to have support again. The thing that I take away the most from this page is Balanced Habits has put all the hard work into it. They've thought of everything for you. So you can have a plan specific to you to be very successful. So just jump in. They've kept it super simple for you, so you can, that's their motto, KISS, keep it super simple. So they've thought of everything for you and outlined it and personalized it. And they just want to reinforce that we're not looking for perfection. It's just small changes that'll help improve your overall nutrition and your wellness, and I can honestly tell you that you'll feel the benefits of it quickly. So, okay, so the next page, again, are some Kickstart rules, and you can read through that. Some of those, you know, are pretty obvious. We just want you to stick to kind of what's prescribed for you, the program. Don't try to make any changes on your own. There's been a lot of thought that's been put into how much you should eat and when you should eat, okay? Then we move on to your goal sheet, which is something that we really want you to fill out and be thoughtful about. We would love that you fill this out and make a copy and bring it to us at the first weigh-in, okay? This is a way that we can, by you filling it out, it just makes you focus and kind of really think why you're here and why you're doing this. And it helps us support you in your goals. And the more we know about you, the better we can support you. All righty. How are we doing, okay?
Yep.
Am I going too fast? Am I, okay, okay. So the frequently asked questions and answers are another great thing for you to go through. I just highlighted a couple because I feel like this is information that you would really love to know right now. And the first one is how many meals per day am I eating and how much time between the meals. There's going to be kind of two basic setups for that. Some people will be 4 meals a day with 4 hours between each meal. And there's going to be some people that are 5 meals a day, 3 hours between each meal. And that is all based on all those stats that we submitted on your behalf. It is customized to what's best for you and your body type and your goals and your exercise level and all that. So it's very personalized. And it also is very key about the 3 hours in between meals and the 4 hours. The
It's on
portion
the
sheet?
So your portion sheet
Yes.
is in the front of your
Yes.
journal. If you pull it out, you'll see it, and they'll tell you when your meals are and how many units. I'll go over, but
And
just so
Erica's
they
going to
know
go
it's
into
there.
detail for
Looks
you.
like that, yeah. So if you're going,
So-
what is she talking about? It's in the front of your.
I'm sorry, you got it? Yes,
Yeah,
and
I
you
got
found yours? Okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
this client doesn't have one, so I want to make sure
Yes,
everybody's got theirs.
everybody's got it, so
Just should we-
see which group you're in.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
then it makes more sense as we're
Yeah.
going forth here
For
talking.
sure.
Because that's the biggest.
Yeah. It is the best.
Yeah.
You've got the best.
Mystery.
It's the mystery.
So Erica's going to go into detail about that. I just wanted you to be aware that there might be, not everybody's going to be the same. That's part of it. So it's very individualized. And the next thing that's very critical and important for you to understand and really jump right in is the hours between the meals is key, okay? By allowing your body to digest this perfectly portioned meal for you, let's say you have your breakfast at 7, it'll probably take your body a couple hours to digest that, give or take. And after that, your body's going to start looking for a fuel source or an energy source. And by not eating, your body is going to dip into its stored fat. And it's going to start burning the stored fat. If you were to eat before that 4-hour window or 3-hour window, you stall that process, okay? So it's not the end of the world. It's just more of a missed opportunity. So I can't find, there is nothing that gives me more willpower than knowing if I don't snack between those 4 hours, my body's going to start burning my fat. So I found that very encouraging and very easy, just to remind yourself, right?
So when your stomach's touching your
yeah.
backbone.
You're burning fat! So, you get grumbly, you get a little cranky, this is all, it could be new for some people. Some people, maybe this is more their natural pattern. But you just remember that, oh yeah, I'm burning fat. This is great. I get to eat in another hour and a half.
Drink water.
And drink water, that's what
Hydrate.
they recommend, to try to get, 16 ounces between the meals, and that even helps with the hunger, okay? Erica will touch on some things. You can choose sugarless gum, if that's something that you like. But you don't want to take in any calories, okay? So we're going to go over this more. It'll make more sense as she starts talking about that. And again, you can read over all this. The next page is on the tips, and that kind of covers a lot of material. I just want to focus really on the idea of you don't want to adjust these meals that they've outlined for you, okay? Sometimes you think, oh, if I skip that meal, I'm cutting more calories and I'm going to have, more success. It'll work against you because they've already considered all that when they put your plan together, okay? So you're not going to burn more fat and get to your goal if you were to cut out one of the meals that they've set out for you, okay? The meals are perfectly put together between proteins, carbs, and fats. So they're just ideal, and they're ideal for you to digest within a certain amount of time, and then, it's going to start revving up your metabolism, okay? So that is just important that you don't try to. Now, sometimes if you're not, hungry enough and you just can't eat that whole meal, just start. Eat some of the protein, eat some of the carbs and the fats, okay? You're going to catch up to this hunger, and once you jump in and do this system the way they've outlined it for you, you'll be naturally hungry at those times. It just takes a little while for it to reset. And then we have some suggestions on what you can have on hand. Today is our orientation meeting, but we expect you to start on Monday. okay? So you have a couple days, and I'm sorry that there's a snowstorm, and you're trying to get to the grocery store, but tomorrow. Tomorrow, are we okay
Today,
tomorrow?
go home.
Okay, so you can do your thinking today, okay, and your planning.
Make your list.
Okay. So you're gonna do a little prep, and don't be afraid of prep, okay? It just means you're going to be more organized, okay? Because if you take all the, if you just get organized, it's gonna be easier to follow the program. You're gonna need your energy to kind of learn some of these new things and eat at the right time and fit that into your life. So the more organized you are, the less energy you're gonna be, spinning your wheels trying to figure out what to eat, okay? A food scale is really critical. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a basic food scale. You'll be, you don't have to measure everything. They have simplified a lot of the foods for us, but you do have to measure some of the proteins for ounces and whatnot. And it really helps you get a visual on what that looks like, so you get, you just want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you're supposed to have, okay? They have some suggestions about meal replacement bars, and I think Erica will probably touch on that a little bit more. It's optional, but they have some suggestions on which ones are the best one for the program. And protein powder is a great thing to have on hand. Smoothies can really smoothies really give you some convenience to this, okay? If you have to eat every 4 hours, so let's say I have breakfast at 7, at work I'm able to have an 11 o'clock lunch, but at 3 I'm still at my desk. I can't step away, I can't go to the break room or anything. A smoothie is an easy way to get your full meal, very convenient, doesn't disrupt your work life. So it's just a great, even if you're not a big smoothie person, it could be a great way that you hit your 4 hours or every 3 hours, okay? My husband has a hard time eating breakfast, and sometimes that is a challenge for people who haven't been doing that. So he has a smoothie in the morning on his way to work. It doesn't seem like a lot of food, but he gets his meal in, gets his day started, so he can stay on track for the every 4 hours, okay? And then sometimes all this protein that you're having, not all this protein, but protein every meal could be very different than what you're used to doing. So they suggest just being aware of that. You could have some digestive enzymes or some herbal tea just to keep things moving along, okay? We don't want you to get too far out of the norm because that can be uncomfortable and that can affect, different things. So if you feel like you're somebody that needs that, they're just suggesting it. You're fine without it also, okay? Any questions on that? Oh, you're such a
Just mentioned because of the amount of protein.
I did, yeah. It's the protein that you're getting kind of regularly, right? So not everybody's used to that. And again, it's short-lived, right? Once, oh yeah.
Is there some significance to the organic half and half suggestion?
Oh my, you're reading ahead of me.
Sorry.
I was supposed to warn everybody to not know. Erica's going to touch on that for you.
Okay.
She's going to be your food person. I don't mean to postpone you, but she's got all your information that way. There are reasons why they're recommending, the cleanest foods. We're almost there, okay? We're almost to Erica and all the information of the food. And then lastly, in your booklets, you have pages in the back, which is going to be where you do your journaling, okay? It's a very important part of the program. It makes you very accountable, and your success rate doubles if you journal. There's just stats that support that. So as a food coach, your journal is really my best way to support you, okay? So we have some things that we want to make sure that you're writing down consistently, the information that we want. And that would be what time you're having your meal. We'd like to know what you're having. And in some cases, you might make a recipe that Erica's going to go into. You could just put down that you've had that recipe. You don't have to itemize everything. We know that recipe is a balanced recipe, okay? Otherwise, we really do want to know because we want to be able to identify if, if something is troubling you or if you're hungrier than you want to be between maybe, your your second and third meal. By looking at what you're eating and the timing of it all, we can improve that and give you suggestions on that, okay? There's nothing about making you feel bad about what you write down in your journal, okay? This is all positive. This is all, just to make better choices and learn.
It keeps you honest.
And it keeps you honest. Yeah, you're not going to have that cookie if you have to write that cookie down in the journal, right? So, and it helps you be very aware.
Accountability.
Yes, accountability. It also has a spot for you to keep track of your water. Water is key, just in overall health. It helps you with your hunger. So we're trying to get 8 to 10 glasses of water. If you try to drink those 2 glasses between each meal, that's very helpful. If water is an issue, for you to get it. I always have water in my car, especially in the winter. I have bottles of it, and I drink so much of my water just going from point A to point B, just because it's mindless and easy to do. Let's see here. I think I've done it. So do we have any questions? I know I kind of went a little fast, but you can read all this and it'll make sense to you. And you ready, Erica?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now it's gonna make
Now the fun
sense.
begins.
All right, whew, my metabolism's running. If I pass out on you guys, someone come and grab me. Okay, so in your booklet, you guys got your paper. It marks down your meals, when you're eating them, what you're having. On that sheet, can I see somebody's sheet just to see it? Thank you. All right, so it's gonna say 3 units, 2 units, 4 units, and you're probably all looking at me going, what's a unit? So, we're gonna do this. 1 unit of protein, so 1 unit of protein, 1 unit of fat, 1 unit carb. Everybody can see that, right? Proteins equal 7 grams. Fats equal 3 grams. Carb is 9. Okay? So, if you have 2 proteins, that's 14 grams. If you have 2 fats, that's 6. 2 carbs, that's 18. We can do the math, right? So starting with that, that's going to make a lot more, it starts to make sense. So, look on to that page that is, where is it? Is it page 11? Yes, page 11. Pack and go ideas. Your proteins, first line, okay? All 1 unit protein, that's all 1 unit protein. So, if you need to eat 3 proteins in the morning, that's 6 egg whites. Will you eat 3 whole eggs? No. Do an egg with some egg whites. You don't want to eat all 3 whole eggs because of the fat, the saturated fat that's in the egg. So you want to kind of stay away from that, okay? So you can go through this, you can start to look and see, all right, these are my proteins, these are just ideas. Eventually, pretty much these are all, that's a lot. I can't imagine that you're looking for something else after that.
When it says 2 units, it means 2 units of each.
2 units of each. So every meal is balanced with everything. Does that make sense? Did I not? That's okay. So yeah. So every meal, so if you have a meal, your breakfast, say your breakfast is 2 units, okay? So your breakfast is 2, or your first meal of the day is 2 units. I don't even want to use breakfast, lunch, and dinner because some of you have 5 meals, some of you have 4 meals. They're just meals.
First meal.
First meal of the day. Say you have 2 units for your first meal, all right? You're going to have 14 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat, and 18 grams, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
We're on the same page. Okay, so now you're looking at that page. You look at your proteins. You're going to grab your 2 units of protein, you're going to grab your 2 units of carbs, and you're going to grab your 2 units of fat. Now some of you might be like I was. I ate clean before this. That wasn't the problem. I didn't eat enough. And I know Karen was the same way. We were both sitting here going, oh my God, I can't get it all in. And as Bridget said, start to eat. Just start to eat. Start with your protein. Start with a little bit of that fat. Start to bring in those carbs. Try one thing here, even though there's nothing is off limits, basically, you can see in those rows of food. Try to stay away from overly doing your starchy carbs. That does not mean you get to have bread every single meal. Yeah, we get to eat it, but be smart, eat clean, Okay, just a little note, because you will find that as you start to tweak these and as you see, all right, it'll make more
I
sense.
don't understand your first example. If your first meal is 3 units.
3 units,
You pick 1 protein, 1 fat, 1 carb.
3 protein, so maybe, like, okay, so for instance,
You're eating a lot of food.
you're eating a lot of food. Now, listen, so, okay, so I get 4 meals, I get 3 units per meal. Okay, so my first meal of the day, I eat 6 egg whites, I eat, what is it, a cup of berries? I eat more than that. I try to at least. I can't get in that much. So I'm eating all my fruit. I get all my berries in for the morning. And then I do a tablespoon and a half of nut butter, or I do a tablespoon and a half of an avocado. That's my fat. That's my breakfast in the morning. Sometimes I'll do an egg, and then I do 4 egg whites, because that'll be my 3 units of protein. Then I do my 3 units of carb, which is like a ton of berries. And then my 3 units of fat, or my almond butter, or I'll do like an avocado. That's what I do for my breakfast. And you know what? I don't stray away from it because it's so good. I like so look forward to it now because I didn't eat like that all the time. Sometimes I was running out the door with my coffee and just going and then going, I'll eat when I can. So now I love it. Yeah.
Is nut butter protein and fat?
Nope. Look in your meal.
Okay.
So yeah, look in there. It'll be specific.
I can have wine for breakfast, lunch, or for all 4 meals.
No! Is there wine on that list?
Yes.
I think we can get wine on our list back on our Kickstarter. Okay. So wait, let me touch base on that really quick, because I know all of you have been asking. I can't drink. What do you want to get out of this 28 days? So we're gonna start having blogs on Mid-American. I'm just gonna go a little tangent. I just wrote a huge blog for you guys on changing habits for life. It takes 21 days to form a new habit. That's not in there, but it does. 21 days to form a new habit. You're gonna be on this for 4 weeks. It's not a yo-yo diet that you're gonna come off of. You're gonna wanna stay with it. It's a lifestyle change. So now's the time to form really good habits. Not to say you can't have wine, and you can't bank your units, you guys. This is not Weight Watchers. We're not banking our units for the weekend so that we can have 21 grams of 21 units of carbs on a Friday night and have all wine. No, it doesn't work that way. So start to balance it out. It's called balanced habits for a reason. We're trying to change up our habits to good habits. Not to say you can't. It's on the list, I can't say no.
I have a question, where does coffee fit into this?
Coffee's fine.
Okay,
It's what you're putting in your coffee.
okay.
All right, so if you're putting in, you're gonna start to mark. If you do cream and sugar, is that what you're gonna ask for?
I do flavored cream,
Look at your flavored cream.
okay.
You're gonna start to read labels. I would say that they're gonna say no, but how much are you doing it? I started measuring out my half and half, and I did not personally count it. It did not bother. Are you drinking this all day long, or is it?
Sometimes.
Then you're gonna wanna, if you're gonna do it with the flavored cream, you're having it with the meal and that's done. After that, learn how to drink your coffee without the flavored cream.
Almond milk is free in your coffee.
What's that?
Almond milk.
Almond milk's free. I did real half and half, but read your labels. You're gonna start to read labels. You're gonna be surprised when you go and grab, for instance, say you go to Meijer's and you go, oh, well, I always buy the Meijer's sour cream. Read the label of Meijer's sour cream. There's about 12 ingredients on the Meijer's sour cream. Go to get Daisy, it's cream. That's what it is. It's literally cream, 1 ingredient. So what's the better of the choices? You're gonna use it, grab the real stuff. Same thing with your cream, same thing with your flavored drinks and all that kind of stuff. Go with the real thing, yeah.
Question,
Yes.
mentioned almond milk, you said was free? In coffee.
In coffee,
Because I was like, yeah.
and it's gonna be unflavored almond milk.
Right.
You're gonna start to, there's some tweaks, you guys, for those things that okay, so let's, give me somebody's breakfast for the morning. Who does breakfast? Nobody does breakfast? What do you normally eat?
Cup of Cheerios with blueberries and strawberries. And
Okay, that's
100%
actually,
milk.
that's not bad. You're gonna find out how much is in your Cheerios, what's a cup, okay? Probably your carbs will be, I think Cheerios is actually kind of low, and you can add in your berries, because you're gonna probably need more units, and then you're gonna add in, you're gonna need a protein, so your protein will be,
I gotta find the protein.
What do you do, milk?
Yogurt, milk.
Yeah, you can do a yogurt, you can do a milk, but you're gonna read it and see how many protein you are to add to that, and then you're gonna need a fat in there. So that's not bad at all. That's actually really good. Or you're gonna have some eggs on the side or something.
Is there a recommended app or something that, like MyFitnessPal, you can scan a box and you scan a barcode and it tells you how many calories and fats and things like that?
Look on the
Is there
serving,
something
just look in your no, there isn't, but just look on the nutrition on the back. Everything's got a nutrition label. Everything is per serving.
And what are we looking for on the label? Like if we're
Fat.
choosing cereal?
Carb. So your cereal is going to fall under carbs. So in balanced habits, you guys, if you're looking on a nutrition label, okay, what is it that you're eating, all right? If we're talking about cereal, that is a carb. So in balanced habits, they give 25%, what do I want to call it? Yeah, 20% overflow to your proteins, to your fats in that. Cheerios, there's no fat in Cheerios, we know that. So you don't have to worry about that. There's probably no protein in that either. So basically that's a carb. So there's going to be some things, and you'll see down in that thing, there's combined macronutrient units. Those are mainly your hummus, your chickpeas, your beans, your legumes. Okay, you'll see where those lie. But for the most part, just start to think about it. Like if you're picking something up, know what it okay, it's a pasta. That's a carb. There's no protein in it. There's no fat in it. You know where it lies. But even if so, if it's lower than how many grams is it that we don't have to worry about it? That it doesn't start, do you guys know? Do you remember?
I don't really think we need to go that deep into it.
Okay.
It's just.
It's got the 25, they've already added that in, they've already thought about it, okay? And you've got that huge list there, you guys, that you can go off of, all right? Yes?
So Erica, like coffee and tea and stuff, is that the stuff you can have in between meals or just the water?
Coffee and tea, yes, as long as you're not adding anything to it,
Okay.
okay? Otherwise, if you're adding something to it, whatever you're adding in, have it with your meal. And then keep it clean. It's keeping it clean. The 28-day, think of it, it's a kickstart. It's to get you to clean up some bad habits and to form new good habits. Like I said, 21 days, you guys, 3 weeks, that's all it takes is to get a new habit. So you're cleaning it up, and then you're tweaking it, right? This is a lifestyle change. This isn't something in 28 days after you walk out of here and weigh yourself, you're gonna go and go, all right, I'm off and I'm gonna go back to my old ways. Hopefully you go, wow, this is awesome. I can eat and I can stay with this. I've stayed with it since September. It's fantastic and it's wonderful. I know all of you have questions and we'll get on those questions. I just want to show you guys I think it's in the back, you got recipes. So let's go over these really quick too. Because this is the brunt of it, I know. These are the questions that you guys all have. So in it, you have week 1. Now you're going to get, if you've got the app, which you can get the app, and then that's not it. There's the balance. What's that? You're going to get the invitation to get the app, okay? You're going to get the invitation to get the app. Get the app. You will get new recipes every week, okay? If you don't have the app and you need to find the recipes, you can go to, and this is on your calendar. Let me just get this out first before we say anything. The ksparticipants.balancedhabits.com. It's the second one under Bridget's name, okay? And that's the password. Remember 2 asterisks before, capital KS, winter 19, 2 asterisks after. Okay? So you can find the recipes there as well. You can't print them up, but you can see them. They will be on the app as well. Okay.
You don't have to pay for it.
No, you don't have to pay for it. Now you're also probably going to get an email. Thank you for saying that too, because that just made me think of that. That you can pay $5.99 and you can get recipes every month. You don't have to do that right now. You are going to get recipes every week. After your 28 days, and you really like the recipes, maybe you want to get that. For $5.99, you'll get recipes for the next year, correct? Yeah, for 12 months? Per month. Okay.
Hey, Erica?
Yes.
On the recipes, on the recipe B, there's a nutrition label, maybe go over that.
Yeah. So, okay, on here, you guys, week 1, it shows, so we have 4 meals here. Now, obviously, if you have a 5th meal, we'll discuss that as well. 4 meals, all right? They give you ideas. Basically, they've broken it down kind of like a breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. But you do how you eat, when you eat. They've got ideas. And they say recipe A, recipe B, recipe C, D, E, F. All right? When you go from there, we're going to go basic, page by page. Go through them, take a look at them. Maybe there's some that you really like. This is a great day because you don't want to go out and go grocery shopping today. You want to go home. Like Bridget said, you got to kind of prep. It just makes it so much easier. You wake up in the morning, you've got your stuff. You look at your grocery list. This is your grocery list. It's all there for you. So you can highlight what you need. You'll see, oh, I love recipe A. Look for all the A's. I need this in recipe A. I need that in recipe A. I need that in recipe A. Okay? It shows you your proteins. It shows you your fats, your produce, what you need. It breaks it down. It keeps it so simple. Basically no thought. All you got to do is grab the ingredients and then you've got to go. All right? So then you go through all your recipes. And they say down here, recipe A. It says it on the paper. Okay? And it gives you all the portions. So then when you look at it, so let's just go to recipe A. That's a protein smoothie. Gives you your ingredients, gives you the directions. Then you go, okay, I've got a 2-unit portion. What do I need to do? For a 2-unit portion, it gives you exactly what you need. It gives you your 14 grams of protein powder. It gives you the milk choice. And it gives you some ideas up here. Low-fat chocolate milk, okay? And then the sour cream, low-fat sour cream, and then it's the almonds or the cashews, all right? That's your 2 units. You're done. You've got it. You've got it. If you're a 3-unit, it shows you what you need. If you're a 4-unit or a 5-unit, it's got it there for you. It's took the thought out of it. You don't have to even worry about it, right?
And then the example is very helpful, so I get it now. But I see protein powder everywhere. And I need a suggestion.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot of bad press.
Right.
So how do I know
What's a good one?
good protein
Yeah,
powder?
no, that's totally, so one really good one that I think a lot of us have used is Garden of Life, right? Garden of Life, you can basically find it at Target, you can find it at Better Health, you can find it at Kroger. It's clean, there's organic, there's pea
It's
protein.
non-dairy, so if you have
Right.
a dairy issue, it's plant protein, it's not.
They do have whey and they do have plant. So there's 2 kinds, Garden of
Are you
Life.
sure it's medically okay?
Yeah.
Because I've gotten a lot of bad press.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean,
But you don't have to have some.
yeah, you don't have to make it if you don't need to.
No, but I'm looking through the recipes, it's in a lot of places.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't do smoothies ever, because I just don't like it.
Okay, so moving on, let me just go to another one. So, you can see down here the nutrition label. So we'll go to the next page for the nutrition label on recipe B. Okay, cheesy eggs and toast. So choosing the right bread. You're looking at your carbs. You're looking at the serving. So that doesn't mean, oh, I can have 3 slices of bread. No, look at the serving size. How many carbs do you need? Remember, how many units do you have? 18, possibly, 27. You'll find it there, okay? So that's, I mean, you're gonna start to just read some labels and know. But you can see this is 1 slice, 15 carbs. So if you did 1 slice, 15 carbs, and say you needed 27, say you had 3 units, this would be roughly 2 units of carbohydrates, and you still need 1 more. Maybe you're gonna throw in a cup of berries on that, okay? You're not gonna go for 2 slices. You could, you're not tipping the scales on that. You could have 2 slices, all right? But it says protein down there, but you don't have to worry about that, because that's not the major thing coming from this. It's okay, Lori, you're gonna make it through. It's not that bad. Am I confusing anybody? Because I've got one more thing to throw in.
I have a question.
Yes.
As you're pointing to the label, like we traditionally might think of beans as protein. I'm not sure if it's listed on.
It is, it's in your list,
Okay,
it's
well,
on your
also
list.
carbs.
No, it's a combined macronutrient. It shows you right here. Like, I had already mentioned that. On this one right here, you've got all the beans and everything on there, and it shows you what it is, 1 protein, 1 carb.
But so go by that, separate from the label, like if we're out at a restaurant and we should think of beans as carb rather than a protein.
Well, you're gonna see it on here. I mean, it gives you all, literally, you've got lentils, edamame, quinoa, buckwheat, chickpeas, kidney beans, black beans, pinto beans. Once you see it, a 1/4 cup, you're gonna start to visualize it. You guys have gotta measure and you're gonna use a scale. Some of you are like, oh, it makes sense because then you get to see your portion size and you know what you're getting. One thing I can definitely tell you guys, if you're not having enough protein or not enough carbs and not enough fat, you're not gonna see any changes. I had a client that was making protein smoothies and nothing was happening on the scale, and then she came to me and she goes, oh my gosh, I was supposed to be putting 2 scoops of protein in to get her full protein. The minute she did it, the next week she came in, boom, pounds came straight down. It makes a difference. You need it. You need the food. You need to see the size. You need to weigh. It makes a huge difference. Once you start to eyeball it that way, after the 28 days, you'll start to eyeball, but guess what? I still measure just because you think you're getting enough and then you go, oh my God, I can have a little bit more. Like you're gonna eat. You're not gonna starve yourself on it. There's a lot of food to eat. And it's great and it's fulfilling and delicious.
Okay, yes, there is a lot of food. Did anyone on the program gain weight the first week?
No.
I have not seen anyone gain weight. I know, because I felt the same way. Carrie, I was like, I'm really gonna eat all this? Like no. Pounds, boom, everybody lost weight. I have not heard of anybody gaining weight. Everybody's lost weight.
In that cheese
I know.
egg recipe, it says a half apple. Is it very specific? It must be an apple, or is
Well, you have to look on your meal portion. Your portion's here. Okay? So you look for what is your unit portion. If you're gonna eat that, you're eating it.
No, as part of the example of the 3-unit meal on the cheesy egg toast.
Right. You gotta look at you're gonna look at your portion. Say your 3 units, you're gonna have a half an apple. But if you're 4 units, you're actually eating a whole apple.
Right, that's not my question. Can you change?
Yes.
Must it be an apple?
Yes, you do what you want.
On the carb list.
Whatever your carb list, however you can change that out. Say you want berries, say you want to eat berries, change, yes. Okay, one last thing, and then I'm done. Yeah, I know, Terry's got to come up here. So, I don't think it's on here, but in some of your recipes, I'm just looking over this one. Some of your recipes, you might get a muffin recipe, and you're like, ooh, I want to make that muffin recipe because it looks really good and that gives me some bread in the morning. Guess what? That muffin recipe will possibly be your fat and your carb, and then it's going to say on top of the recipe, please add your unit of protein to it. So look in that area where the units of protein are. It'll give you that. It might say this is perfectly portioned for a carb, a fat, a protein. Some of them may say please add your 3-unit portion of protein to that, or your 3-unit portion of fat to that. Some of the recipes will be complete. Some of them will tell you to add stuff to it. It'll make sense as you go, and we are here to answer all those questions, you guys. Don't hesitate to grab us, we're in class, hey Erica, blah, 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 blah. You guys, and if you guys need to bring in your journals and say, this is what I'm doing, does it look good? And, all right, are we good?
Can I add one thing?
And when you're coming up.
Not to make this more confusing, but if these units, if the order that you eat your meals doesn't work out for your lifestyle, you can change the order. It can be 3, 2,
Right.
3, you can switch that around any way you want.
And
that was their suggestion.
And another thing that I found a lot with clients, some clients have, with what Terry's saying, say you have like 3, 2, 3, 2, or you've got like a bigger one and then lesser ones. When you start in the morning, whatever time that is the time you're going to be eating at night. So the more you're eating at 9, you're eating at 10, you'll be eating at 10 o'clock at night. No matter what. It's just the way it's going to lay out, whether it's a 3-hour or a 4-hour.
And why is that a good thing? Because everybody says don't eat before you go to bed.
It's not a good thing, you want to start early.
You want to start early, is what I'm about to say.
If I start at 7 a.m.
Yeah, you'll eat like around 7, 7:30, I mean, that's how I do. I start around 7-ish, 6-ish. Sometimes my last meal gets pushed back personally because I'm teaching. However, so this is where I'm going with that. So say you do end up eating later. Say it's a 9 o'clock meal, maybe it's a 10 o'clock meal. Your portions, some can be heavy, some can be light, meaning a smoothie, kind of light. It's easy to take down, you go to bed, it's great protein in your body. Your body needs protein to go to bed with, so it's a good thing. Sitting down and having chicken and maybe a potato and some fat might not sit as well in your stomach for that last meal. Make that meal, if it's a late meal, make that meal light. Does that make sense in what I'm saying? Easier to eat? Okay. And then we all have suggestions for like protein powder and bars and all that kind of stuff. If you guys like that, if you don't have to eat those. Again, like Karen said, there's no gimmicks here. You're not buying pills, you're not buying protein powder if you don't need it. Bars are easy, they're great in the bag like Bridget was saying, but those things aren't technically necessarily needed, all right? We'll have more questions at the end. I'm gonna let Terry talk. Sorry if I talked too much.
There's so much in this
Yours
one.
is the hardest one, and it's so much easier than it sounds.
Yeah, once you get going, it flows.
Yeah. So, and I just wanted to say, you were asking about breakfast. My favorite smoothie is coffee, ice, banana, and 2 almonds. Well, actually, 4 almonds. Sorry, if it's a 2-unit. If it's a 3-unit, then I get 6 almonds. Woo-hoo! So, but anyway, it's awesome. If your coffee goes.
I really like those.
Oh, Mary Ann.
New habits.
Not happening.
New habits, new habits. So on that same sheet that gives you your units, at the very bottom are your exercise recommendations. And everybody's are a little different. That was based on the information that you gave Balanced Habits. So based on your age, weight, gender, how often you exercise. And so if you haven't been exercising at all, you might only have been given 2 days. And I know there's some of you guys that are here every day working out, so they probably gave you even more if your goal was weight loss.
That was my question.
So-
Holy crap, I'm gonna be living here.
Yeah, because you're retiring. So, yeah, that was
This
based
is
on.
really real,
That
down
was,
the bottom?
so what did you get, Mary Ann?
2+ days of 60 minutes of cardio, I'm gonna be dying in spin class. And 5+ days of 60+. I'm here every day, minimum of an hour, and there's the plus in there.
No,
No, that
What
doesn't
did
mean
you,
you have to
what
do
did
more.
you, when you filled it out, what did you say? Did you say you were moderately active, or did you say you were very active?
Well, it didn't use those terms, it
Right.
said kind of like, how often do you do cardio,
Yeah, we
how
know.
much, how often do you strength? And I put less than this.
Okay.
Okay, so and if your goal was to lose weight, they probably bumped it up from what you said. But
Yeah, I
don't
don't
get-
mind trying to do this, I'm just kind of
Right,
shocked.
don't worry about the plus. They're
Yeah,
saying
no.
you could do
I
more.
could be dead
Yeah.
by the end
Don't
of
do
these.
less. And also, some of you might have 45 minutes or 60. Don't get really hung up on that. You can count a class as an hour. Most of our classes are 45 minutes or 55 minutes. Count it as an hour either way. Strength doesn't have to be a sculpt and tone class. It can be Pilates, Pyo. It can be, what did I miss, Fit Bar. Those all count as strength, okay? So, you can give a little with that, okay? Is there any questions about that? The times they gave you? Okay. And we also have, for the next 4 Saturdays, Eric and I are going to be teaching boot camp, which comes with your Balanced Habit program. If you can't make one of them, you can see us and take another class at another time that week. But the boot camp is divided into 2 levels. I'll be doing level 1, Eric will do level 2. If you've never worked out before, I would strongly suggest coming to level 1. If it's too easy for you, you can always go to Erica's the week after. And by the way, the other Eric is going to teach the first one, because this Erica won't be here. This is so getting more confusing by the minute. But our boot camps are going to be, I think we talked about it, we're going to play it by ear. We're going to see who comes. I always like everyone to feel successful in my classes. So if there's beginners, we're not going to kill you.
And there'll be options in
There
in
won't be,
both.
there will be options in
Yeah.
both. There will be options in my class to move it up, options in Erica's to move it down, but you're gonna be happy, it's gonna be fun. If you're in level 1, we're not gonna jump around like crazy, we're not gonna kill you, it's gonna be fun, I promise. Okay?
And same with
Just
cardio.
people from Kickstart.
Just Kickstart people are in this 10:30
But what do
Saturday
you call it?
camp.
Cardio or
So
strength?
that's counted as cardio.
So, that's a good question.
Okay.
Are we going, I was
Yeah.
meant to talk to you about that. Should we count it as cardio? I'd say cardio.
Cardio.
I'd say cardio. We're gonna mix it up a little bit, but we're gonna try to keep your heart rates up.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings me then to the next thing is, you have a recommendation of your heart rate on there. I think a lot of them are gonna be around like 110 to 120, right, somewhere in there. Those are your zones. The people that already work out here know all about the MyZone belts, okay? Some people use their their watch or their Fitbits, that's fine too. These are on sale right now if you wanna get one. We highly recommend you have some kind of a tool to track your heart rate. And is everyone familiar with these? They go under your shirt, around your chest, okay. You can sync it with your phone. And for instance, we get these cool little graphs that come up on the phone later. Again, age, weight, gender, resting heart rate, all that information goes in there, and then it will show you later. You can get a pie graph if you want of how many calories you burned, how your heart rate was, so on and so forth. And in all the big rooms we have the screens up here, you could be anonymous if you want, but your heart rate will be up there too, and you can follow along during class. And it's a great tool, the MyZone, it's a great tool.
Well,
You want to stay in that heart rate
and
zone.
Terry, it would really be great if we all had them, because that way when we do have class, we can judge it that way. We can say, okay, we need to get into that zone now, that yellow zone, and you can physically see it up there, because you could be pushing and you might not be there, and you're not gonna know that without seeing it physically on the screen. So there's times that,
And it works off-site.
It's your fat burning zone.
And these will last you forever, and they don't only work here. It'll work, like some of my graphs are from other workouts, when I was at home or taking a walk or whatever. I mean, this will sync to your phone.
whether it's on or not,
Anywhere.
yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, I've taken the cardio class, I've taken every class here. My heart rate is never between 107 and 116.
It's always higher, right?
It's always higher,
Yeah.
so how much
That's
is it?
a pretty low fat burning zone. They're saying that's your minimum, that's all you have to do. There is, but obviously, if you're gonna work out harder, you're gonna burn more calories, right? I mean, that's,
So that's, don't pay attention to the heart rate.
We're recommending that.
Well, yeah.
make that your minimum. That's really probably more for new people that haven't worked out in a while, because the people that have exercised here all the time know. And it's hard to get up into the yellow and the red, which are 80% zones and 90%.
And to stay there,
But
and to maintain it.
obvious, in interval training, you know, we never want people to get up over 90% very often, but you can, your graph will look like this, you'll touch on it. You know, Mary Ann, this morning, you were yellow and red quite a bit in class. Yeah. So, that was a good question. They are a little bit low, but I think they're really, it's a fat burning zone.
How much are they on sale for now?
Pardon?
How much are they on sale for?
79? Yeah, good question. Excellent question. You gonna buy one? And the only other thing I wanted to mention was, working out isn't just to lose weight. We all know that. Stroke, heart disease, diabetes, mood elevation. There's so many benefits to exercising. So we hope to see you all in our classes on Saturday. It will be fun, we promise.
Oh, yeah.
Question,
Terry,
Ms.
can you
Peters?
just tell from your whole group experience, the eating 4 meals, dealing with spouses, family, traditional going out for dinner times, like, just trying to fit that in. Most of us aren't used to it. What are people finding that they're eating at 7, 11, 3, and 7?
Erica's a good one for that one. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what, my kids are grown up and gone, so we'll let Erica answer
So I
that question.
teach 3 evenings a week, and so I would have to back up from my dinner and figure out my 4-hour intervals from there, because I was eating dinner at 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. So I wouldn't eat my breakfast until 8 or 8:30 in the morning. But before Balanced Habits, I was kind of eating whenever, I'm walking through the kitchen, I'll grab a few almonds, I'll grab, half an apple. And so I really had to plan ahead for the 4-hour intervals, and if I was going to be away from home for long periods. So sometimes I was eating with my family, sometimes I wasn't. But that was kind of the case anyway when I was eating in the evening. I didn't always make the recipes, but all the recipes that I made, they really liked.
And
Yeah,
so
we
are you
all-
still eating at 8 after your classes?
Because that's when it's time. But I'm still doing, the 4-hour intervals. And if they didn't want to try some of the recipes, then it was great, because I only had to cook once, and I had leftovers for the next
Yeah.
day.
You can everything freezes really well. There's a lot of the recipes are great. And like the muffins and stuff, and so if you're not sharing, like if you're, just you and your spouse and he doesn't want to eat them, the kids didn't like one of the muffins, I just froze them and then I would take them out and just, the night before, leave it on the oven I knew. And then lasagna.
Another question about meals?
Can we do questions after?
Yeah,
Okay, we can wrap up and get through
Okay.
the info, because Bridget's gonna just wrap up real quick.
This is
so you
super
can-
fast.
Okay.
But we got through the orientation meeting. I know that it sparks a lot of questions, and we're going to make sure we get those all answered for you. I just want to mention that there are going to be some graphs and some information that we're posting based on our progress as a group. And your name will be listed by first name and last name of your last name. So I just want everybody to realize that might be in the studio care form. So I want to make sure everybody's comfortable with that. It won't be any, it could be body fat percentage that you're losing. It won't be specific to how many pounds. Yeah, so it's more general, but it's motivating and it makes it, more of a group, a way to stay in touch with everybody. So after this, we're going to answer all your questions for sure, but I just want to encourage you that you've heard all this and it's kind of like now what do you do? So you're going to go home and you're going to prep, you're going to read through everything, you're going to reach out to us over the weekend if you have any questions. I found it very helpful to almost write in my journal before it happened. So I kind of would sit down and figure out what I'm having for those meals, and many times I'd repeat it. I was fine with that because it just kept it super simple for me. So just put the effort in this weekend and get organized. And remember that we're not looking for perfection. We're starting with small changes, and that goes with the exercise recommendation, any part of this. So we're excited for you, and thank you for...
Prizes.
Oh, my goodness, of course.
Okay.
And if you need more motivation, we've got lots of prizes for, I don't know if you've seen these around, or are they on the website, or?
They're just posted.
Just posted around. So we have, for the highest percentage of body weight loss, there's a Google Home Mini. That can be one for that. Most inches, there's personal training, 2 personal training sessions, or $100 off the next program for Balanced Habits. Perfect attendance, you just get some fun Mid-American swag for that. And then we have a competition for the social media champion, and that would win you an intro to Pilates package or another $100 off. And that we are keeping track of.
They're going to show their phone when they do a post and get tickets.
Okay, so the more that we generate and get our experience out, the more fun it is and makes it more of a community for everybody. Yes?
Is the attendance in regards to the boot camps?
The attendance includes the boot camps and the weigh-ins, the meeting, the post-meeting. Yep. Okay? All right, so we're good. We're going to do questions and all that and get you all the information that you need.